Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing well today. My name is Catherine, and I am the teacher in charge of planning while your teacher Sophie is away. So I have recorded this video for you today about modals. It is very important that you pay attention very carefully to all the explanations that I'm going to give you today, as the modals are very, very important for your term exam that is coming on February 16th. If you have questions throughout the presentation, you may ask questions to the subteacher. If the subteacher cannot answer your question, please write your question down somewhere and keep that question for me for whenever we'll see each other in class. It is very important to understand that modals are there to change the meanings of infinitive verbs in sentences. We always use the modal in front of the infinitive verb, and the verb has to appear under its base form. For example, I should go now. Should is our modal verb, and our other verb in that sentence is go, which appears under its base form. The first modals that we're going to look at together today are must and have to. Both modals carry the same meaning. We use them to talk about obligations. So whenever we want to say to someone that they absolutely have to do something or must do something, that it's an obligation, we are going to use one or the other. On the slide here, you can see what the sentence structures are when you want to use one or the other in a sentence. You will start your sentence with a subject. Following the subject, you will use either must or have to, the verb under its base form, and then the rest of the sentence. So you have a good example here of you must leave your phone here. Must is the modal, and leave is your base verb in the sentence. You also have here an example of the negative sentence, how to structure a sentence with must or have to. So with must, you will use mustn't, and with have to, you will say don't have to. For example, here, you mustn't listen to your parents. Which you shouldn't listen. You should all listen to your parents at all times. And you also have, in the second example, you don't have to clean up your room. Okay, so that's the negative structure if you want to write a negative sentence with must or have to. Okay, so remember that we use must and have to carry obligations. And that we use must or have to in front of the verb in the sentence. And you leave the verb as it is. Okay, so there is never an S or anything at the end of the verb, so it's the base form of the verb. Next up, we have the modal can. So yes, can is a verb. It's the verb pouvoir in French. So we also use can as a modal to talk about abilities or possibilities. Okay, une habilité ou une possibilité. So the structure for regular sentences is subject followed by can, then the verb and the rest of the sentence. So you can work at McDonald's. You can work at McDonald's. You don't have to. It's not an obligation. It's an option, a possibility. It's something that you can do. Okay, so if I say that you can work at McDonald's, it's because you also have the ability to work there. Okay, you're old enough, you know how to use a cash machine, or you know how to cook. So it's an option that is real, that exists for you. Okay. Counterwise, if you want to talk about something that is not possible, or when you don't have the ability to do something, or the ability doesn't exist, you will use can't. Okay, so James can't go out on Friday. So James maybe doesn't have the ability to go out on Friday because he broke one of his legs. Okay, or maybe the possibility does not exist because James is grounded, he did something bad at school, and his parents are asking him to stay home. Okay, so he can't go out on Friday night. All right, so either he broke a leg, he doesn't have the ability, hein, il s'est cassé une jambe, il n'a pas l'habilité de, or it's a possibility. Okay, it's not a possibility, sorry. Could is the past of can. Okay, so we can use could in two instances. So we'll start with the first use of could. So we use could to talk about past abilities. Okay, so the structure of the sentence with could is subject followed by could, verb, and the rest of the sentence. Okay, the example we have here is Lydia could go to the park. She had the ability to do it, but she decided not to go. Okay, so she could go, or her two legs were just fine. Her parents wanted her to go, so the possibility and the ability was there, okay, in the past. But maybe she decided not to go, okay? So she could go to the park, she did not do it, all right? The second example, in the negative sentence, you couldn't go to the party because you didn't have a right, so the ability, the possibility wasn't there, okay? What's important to understand here with could, as I said earlier, is that there are two uses. So this is the passive can for abilities. I also talked about possibilities, so we'll cover that together now. So could can be used to talk about abilities, to convey abilities. So Julie could go with you if you want some company. Okay, so it's a possibility. Julie is available. She doesn't have anything to do in the afternoon. So if you want someone to go with you, she is there. Okay, she could go if you want. It's a possibility. The last modal that we are going to look at together today is should. So it's a modal that we often use. In French, it's devrait. Okay, so we use should when we want to give a piece of advice to someone, un conseil. Okay. So you have the sentence structure here. So subject, should, the verb, and the rest of the sentence. The example we have here is the boys should train every day if they want to get better. So the meaning in French would be les garçons devraient s'entraîner tous les jours s'ils veulent s'améliorer. Okay. So we use should, as I said, to give advice, pour donner des conseils. Okay. In the negative sentence, we have you shouldn't drive your dad's car without his permission. So tu ne devrais pas. So that's it for should. Here you have a chart with all the modals that we have just covered together today. So remember that can is used to talk about abilities. Could for past abilities or possibilities. Can is also for possibilities, so I should add it there. Must and have to, they're used for obligations. And should is when you want to give an advice, a piece of advice or un conseil. So you should eat healthy, tu devrais manger santé. So that's the end of the video. If you have questions, please write them down somewhere or ask the subteacher. And if they cannot answer your questions, I will be happy to answer next time we see each other. You have some practice to do in your activity book and also a project to start.